The haunted lake stretched out before them, shimmering in the moonlight like a sheet of black glass. Its waters were still, mirroring the twisted branches of the gnarled trees that surrounded it. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay, adding to the eerie atmosphere that enveloped the place. Sarah and Jake stood at the edge of the lake, shivering despite the warmth of the summer night. They had heard the rumors about the lake, how it was haunted by the spirits of those who had met tragic ends within its depths. But they had laughed it off as nothing more than local superstition, just a tale to scare children and gullible tourists. But now, as they looked out over the dark waters, a sense of unease crept over them. There was something undeniably malevolent about the place, a feeling of ancient anger and sorrow that seemed to seep from the very ground itself. Jake swallowed nervously, his gaze darting from the lake to the dense forest that surrounded them. "Maybe we should go back," he said, his voice tinged with fear. Sarah shook her head, her eyes gleaming with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "No way. We came all this way, we can't chicken out now." Before Jake could protest, Sarah took a step forward and plunged into the water with a splash. Jake hesitated for a moment, then followed her, the cold embrace of the lake sending a shiver down his spine. As they swam further from the shore, the oppressive atmosphere seemed to close in around them, suffocating them with its weight. Shadows danced on the surface of the water, twisting and writhing like specters in the darkness. Suddenly, Sarah let out a gasp, her eyes widening in terror. Jake turned to see what had frightened her and felt his blood run cold. There, just beneath the surface, a pale figure drifted towards them, its skin bloated and waterlogged, its eyes empty sockets that seemed to bore into their very souls. With a scream, Sarah turned and swam for the shore, her strokes frantic and desperate. Jake followed, his heart hammering in his chest as he felt the icy touch of the specter's fingers brush against his ankle. They reached the safety of the shore, gasping for breath and trembling with fear. The apparition remained in the water, its gaze fixed upon them with a hunger that sent chills down their spines. "We have to go," Jake said, his voice hoarse with terror. But Sarah shook her head, her eyes blazing with a fierce determination. "No, we have to find out what happened here. We have to uncover the truth." And so, despite their fear, they set out to unravel the mystery of the haunted lake. They delved into the town's history, scouring old newspapers and dusty archives for any mention of the lake and its tragic past. Slowly but surely, they pieced together a story of betrayal and revenge, of lost loves and broken promises. They learned of a young woman named Eleanor who had drowned herself in the lake after her lover abandoned her for another. They heard whispers of a farmer who had met his end at the hands of a jealous rival, his body never found. And they uncovered the tale of a group of children who had vanished without a trace, their fate a mystery that had haunted the town for generations. The more they discovered, the more the ghostly apparitions seemed to haunt their every step. Shadows flickered at the edge of their vision, whispers echoed through the still night air, and the oppressive weight of sorrow and rage pressed down upon them like a leaden cloak. But still, they pressed on, driven by a need to uncover the truth, to bring peace to the restless spirits that haunted the lake. Finally, after weeks of relentless searching, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber beneath the town's abandoned church, a chamber that contained the remains of those who had met their tragic ends in the lake. As they gazed upon the skeletal remains, a sense of profound sadness washed over them. These were not vengeful spirits seeking retribution, they were lost souls, trapped in a limbo of unresolved sorrow and pain. And as Sarah and Jake stood there, surrounded by the ghosts of the past, a voice whispered through the darkness, soft and full of longing. "Thank you," it said. "Thank you for setting us free." And in that moment, the shadows lifted, the whispers faded, and the oppressive atmosphere that had clung to the lake melted away. The waters of the haunted lake shimmered in the moonlight once more, peaceful and serene. Sarah and Jake stood side by side, their hands clasped together, knowing that they had finally laid the ghosts of the lake to rest. And as they turned to leave, a soft breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it the faintest echo of laughter and song, a sound that spoke of forgiveness and redemption, of peace at last.